Hello everybody, I'm your host, Rob of Rivia, and today you're watching yet another Dragon Dogmas 2 trailer analysis. So, let's get right into it. This is a French quote by Harbinger. That was a Griffith above the seawater. Capcom. It's a logo of like a studio that made Monster Hunter and Devil May Cry. Right, something I missed. It's there's two bozos on the Griffith. That is Griffith. This is some bushland to the right. As you can see, the carriage this time has a bucket on it, which might mean there will be fire lizards attacking the carriage as you try to defend it while walking to Grand Saurus. You might not notice, but through the bottom of the carriage, you can see that it's like the thing that's pushing the carriage has hoofs on it, so it might be a goat. This is a bird's eye view of the map. This does not happen in gameplay, this is just a logo. Two eyes, meaning two in Roman.
You do not remember? Then have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames?
Okay, this is really interesting. That was a lot of stuff in like 2 minutes. I did not catch all of that. I'll try to do it again. So this is, I'm guessing this is a side character.
Remember? Then have you forgotten?
This looks like a town's guard guy. He's themed after French soldiers. Something I didn't see other analysis of Dragon Dogma's 2 trailer notice, so I'm pretty proud that I noticed myself. But this guy is wearing a corset under the armor.
You protected me from the dragon's.
So we can see the dragon has a heart of the Arisen on his fingernail. He has perfect hygiene. As we can see, there's two different classes. There's the Khajiits are added into the game, and also
Dragon's flame.
This guy looks important. He will be voiced by Hugh Laurie, and I notice what the weapon he's using. I noticed it because I know the hilt. It's also from the first game, so I know what weapon that is. This guy is gonna be using a dagger, a really small weapon. By the way, looking at the background, you can tell this is the same place where you fight the Hydra in the first game. So, in the first game, I did not see this guy. This is a harpy, and this is a ghost. This guy will have no importance to the story of the game, and he is oh, you can tell by the environment behind the ghost and the harpy that that this is right outside the encampment. This is the place where you fight the troll in the first game. This is the Blitz Strike attack. It has really cool new animations. This Arisen, this player character has a really big dumpy on him, so it's nice to see that kind of character customization. This orc, when he swings, like you see, he doesn't have a weapon in this frame, but in this frame he has a weapon, which means they're using magical attacks. And also this orc misses the attack on the Arisen like a bozo, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, also, so this spawn, you might not have seen it because he looks like a goblin, but this is a spawn here. He uses a thing where he bounces off a goblin. And yeah, here he is, or she. It's really interesting to see that goblin cruelty is being added to the game. I really like that. This guy is Khajiit. He is using the Magnus blade. This is a Yennefer from the Witcher series. This is a golem. In first game, there's also golems, but they're like gray. And this guy is he's clearly like a chameleon type enemy, where he like camouflages with the environment. So if this golem went to like Europe, you know, where everything's gray, he would like turn gray. And since he's in the Khajiit Elsewhere land, he's in Elsewhere right now, so he's all orange, just like the desert. I'm not sure if the goblins are friends with the golem, or if they just happen to attack the Arisen at the same time. But oh wow, I just noticed. I didn't notice this before, but the Arisen in this shot is also Khajiit. It's a Khajiit archer. Anyways, I wonder if they're gonna be doing damage to each other, the goblins and the golem. It would be nice to see collateral damage that enemies do. I would love to see some golems blast some dirty goblins. By the way, one of the pawns, the guy with the white helmet, white armor, this guy over here, he looks like a chef. This is a new, it's either a new class. I heard some people say it's like a sorcerer or a mythic knight, but I feel like farting. That was a really nice magic, by the way. I like how the goblins combust into like blue liquid. It reminds me of that Fanta. This is a magic archer, and he's attacking this bull. This bull is doing the stampede things that bulls do. If you pay attention to its right leg, and it's doing the thing where he's tapping the ground before charging. I think that's really cute, and I hope we get to tame these guys. He fell over. The way he falls over, you can tell, like, Gorp, you know what I mean? This is another side character. This is probably an alchemist. Looking at its clothing, it has a red silicon. No, satin. So red satin, and it has a massive, like, you could not fit that in your ass. Look, that's a massive potion, like almost as big as her head. This is Brandt. He's one of those generic town civilians NPCs. It's really nice to see they're putting more depth into the civilians and stuff. Praise be, for only the sovereign. Anyways, something a lot of people don't notice in this scene is that it's like dark, but when you blink and then open your eyes, it's like light, and it's like really strange how that happens. These goblins are scared because they haven't seen a white guy in like 20 years. This is a orc. No, it's a troll. So the troll is like asking for a passage, and the lady's like, sure, go ahead, and she spawns a bridge, which is really nice to see. We don't see bridges in Dragon Dogma every day. This guy knows how to float a little bit from the ground. Nothing important there. This is Grand Saurus. This is the place where you enter the town, and I think I don't know where. Oh, okay. So it's gotten a massive overhaul. To the left, you can see the bar, the tavern there. And to the right is the entrance of the city. Yeah, in the first game, none of these stalls that sell produces, foods, groceries, none of these stalls had any function. When you talk to the NPCs, they just say, have a nice day. And I hope in the second game they add like little small items that these guys could sell, like, you know, bits of ribs or alchemy materials, you know? I mean, not alchemy, but So this is inside the tavern that was to the left of the previous shot, and you can see Brand here. You can see Elizabeth. You can see Gordon. Like a lot of these generic civilians that all of them have like really high def. Also, on the left of the screen, like just around the vases that are hanging from the bar top, you can see that um, there's some garlic and also some vases hanging, which I think is really nice detail because people used to be dumb and they would hang vases for no reason. I think that's a really good detail to the past, how people are not smart. This is another shot of. So I'm guessing this is the entrance to Grand Sarin, or it could be the fields of, like in the first game, this used to be the fields of wheat and grain. I'm guessing this could be the same area since it looks very similar. Um, the way the buildings are put there, it looks very much like that. So this is a male dragon. He's very big. He's red and his eyes are yellow. Clearly bonded to Brand. He was trained to fight by Rika, and by the time of the Battle of Burning Plains, he could breathe fire. This red dragon is skilled at aerial combat, being able to compete with the Arisen even when he was severely injured. However, never got the time to adjust to his body since Pathfinder sped his growing with the help of a waystone or the hearts of the other slain dragons. This specific dragon was one of the 3 original dragons in Pathfinder's wake, along with Grigori and Hulder, the final dragon to be sent after Arisen to converse the cycle is this guy. He most likely came into Pathfinder's possession when the king salvaged the last dragon eggs from Errol at the fall of the Hunters' battle. For decades, Galbotrix labored to find Thorn's rider and have him hatch, but to no avail. Finally, after 100 years in Galbatorix's treasury, Thorn came into contact with Murta and hatched for him. Murta became a dragon rider in the service of the Tyrant King, just like his father Morzan. Galbatorix forced the two into his service using their true names. It was revealed that Galbatorix tortured or manipulated Thorn to get Murta to swear fealty to him. Galbatorix and Shukan trained them to become a formidable match to Saphira and Aragon. The Dark King used his magic to speed Thorn's growth and augmented his speed in order for him to hold his own against Saphira in battle. To prepare him to take to the sky against the Varden, Galbatorix gave Murta and Thorn several Eldunari, or Dragon Hearts of Hearts. This caused their reserve of power to greatly increase. However, it's still unclear as to the negative effects of this. Shurkan instructed Thorn in aerial combat. Thorn subsequently became a formidable dragon, though it is likely he was confused and disoriented with his new body for the time, Once the first stage of their training was complete, Galbatorix sent them to confront the Warden and to capture Saphira in the process. Thorn flew to the Burning Plains and battled with Aragon and Saphira. Thorn matched Saphira blow for blow even though he was younger, and from Aragon's berserker attack, Thorn fought on the ground. After a spectacular battle, Aragon and Saphira were soundly defeated. Murta then decided to show mercy to Aragon and Saphira, perhaps because Aragon was Murta's brother, maybe. Though Thorn and Murta returned to Galbatorix empty-handed, unless counting that Zarax was retrieved, Zarak being the rider's sword of his father. Galbatorix was curious with Thorn and Murta for letting Aragon and Saphira escape. He punished them severely, of course. Afterward, they were forced to swear more oaths in the ancient language that would ensure their absolute obedience in the future. After hearing of their account and prying the information from their minds, Galbatorix learned that Aragon now had the physical appearance and abilities of an elf. Fearing Aragon had gained elvish strength, and rightly so. Galbatorix bestowed additional powers to Thorn and Morta, making Thorn younger and deeper in the chest, and Morta faster and stronger than any human. Morta and Thorn were ordered to capture Aragon, who had stayed behind Helgrish to finish off the Razak. Thorn flew over the Southern Empire searching for Aragon. Without his dragon, Aragon was no match for Thorn, and Morta combined his power. But he managed to hide from them until they passed onward, searching elsewhere, of course. The hunt for Aragon proved fruitless for the Brooding Empire. Thorn flew Morta to Surda, leading a company of painless soldiers to attack Warden. Aragon and Saphira, in the hopes of avoiding a battle with the heretofore superior pair, ordered to reveal a means of escaping Galbatorix's bondage. Morta and Thorn discussed the possibility, as well as decided to listen, though Morta was extremely annoyed at being tempted with what he viewed as a futile hope. After hearing of the possibility of changing their true names, they took note of the possibility, but still attacked Aragon and Saphira, as Morta asserted that he and Thorn could not change themselves in an instant, and that Galbatorix had probably planned for this eventually. While the forces of the Brooding Empire and Warden clashed, Thorn and Morta battled Aragon and Saphira once more. Thorn was beaten on every turn by Saphira during this specific conflict. Both sustained injuries, yet with the help of the elves, Aragon and Saphira beat Thorn and Morta. Upon leaving, Morta called out to his enemy that he and Thorn would return, more powerful than ever, to defeat Aragon and Saphira once and for all. Morta and Thorn flew back to the capital to be chastised in person. After Galbatorix was done with them, he sent them north to hold off the forces of the Elven army. Thorn was briefly seen by Saphira while flying across the land, but made no attempt to fight her. His sighting sent the warden to temporary alarm. At Gilead, they found the city under attack by the elves. Thorn roared his challenge for all to hear, and was confronted by Glader and Oromis, the two dragons that their riders dueled in the sky, both of them receiving numerous wounds during the battle. Thorn used the very tactic Saphira had used against him in their last fight. He hid using the cover of the clouds, then darted out and struck his opponent. Even with this tactic, Glader was a formidable opponent, and the fight continued. Finally, in one of Oromis' seizures, Galbatorix took total control of Morta and fought Oromis, knocking the sword dangling from his hand and cutting him open from shoulder to hip. Glader used a blast of magic to push Thorn away, but the red dragon returned moments later, though he was injured. Thorn outmaneuvered his foe and bit in the base of his skull, as well as watched as Glader plummeted to the earth. With this act, the dragon riders of Ald were destroyed again by the hands of Galbatorix. When the city Dras Leona was attacked, Thorn and Morta appeared to defend the city. They did not attack the warden, but watched them instead. After Aragon, Aera, Angela, and Salobombum emerged from the secret tunnel found by Jode and were headed for the city gates, Saphira distracted Thorn and Morta by burning walls and buildings. Soon after, Thorn fought Saphira on the city cathedral, thus destroying it. Before its destruction, Thorn was crushed with debris from one of Saphira's attacks, but managed to dig free and continue the battle. It is said that Thorn is bigger than 2 houses, as opposed to Saphira merely being as big as 1 house, which suggests that Thorn has continued his incredible growth and was twice as big as Saphira. Later, during their abduction of Nasuada, Thorn finally bested Saphira in a battle, as she didn't want to risk injuring Nasuada, while through aerial acrobatics and the use of his tail defeated Arya, who wounded him with Nirnin. Back in Eurobin, Thorn must have borne witness to Mora slowly falling in love with Nasuada, who was Galbatorix's prisoner. This largely contributed to Murta and Thorn being able to escape most of the oaths that they had sworn to Galbatorix. Also, Galbatorix made the mistake of teaching Murta the name of names, the name of the ancient language, which allowed one to completely control any magic done with use of ancient language. When the warden arrived at the city, Thorn and Murta attacked Saphira and Aragon, but they had been fooled by an illusion, and by the time they realized the deception, the true Aragon and Saphira had entered Urubin's citadel along with Arya and Elva. They confronted Galbatorix and Murta later joined them. There, Galbatorix forced Murta and Aragon to fight, believing that it would be fitting to have both the son of the Morrison and the son of Brom fight each other. Thorn and Saphira remained on the sidelines, snarling at each other as the riders fought a battle where Murta seemed to be gaining the upper hand. However, Aragon was able to trick Murta and therefore won the fight. However, instead of returning to Galbatorix, Murta used the name of names to break off his words and the oaths that they had sworn. Freed from Galbatorix, Thorn attacked Shuriken, although the Black Dragon was a lot bigger and a lot more powerful than him. Although they were able to immobilized by Galbatorix once again, Aragon, Saphira, and Eldenare pulled off one of the most powerful pieces of magic in history. They forced Galbatorix to feel all the feelings, good and bad, of all those who suffered because of him since the day he was born. Unable to hold on anymore, Galbatorix released them from their bondages. Thorn was thrown off Shuriken's back and broke his wing. He then joined forces with Saphira, and they managed to bring the massive dragon down, although they weren't strong enough to cause lethal damage to him. This allowed Arya, however, to stab Shuriken in the eye with the Dafford, killing him. Galbatorix was bested by Aragon in their duel. Due to the incredible mental pain he was feeling at the hands of Aragon's spell, and then committed suicide in a monumental explosion, which brought his entire palace crumbling down. With their bond to Galbatorix broken, Murta and Thorn went into self-imposed exile in the North Algesia to that they could find the time to heal from that Galbatorix did to them. But therefore they made a peace with Aragon and Saphira. The two riders acknowledged each other as brothers. Thorn also finally spoke to Aragon and Saphira for the first time, wishing them well. The most recently recorded sighting of Murta and Thorn was near Veldenvarden. Thorn is a stocky, compact dragon with exceptional powerful muscles and limbs for his size. Initially, he was smaller than Saphira, but most likely because he was younger but sturdier and bold. With thicker legs, he had since grown larger than Saphira, and is described as being bigger than 2 houses, whereas Saphira is merely as big as 1. I already said that, I'm sorry. Thorn's scales are described to be the red of wine held up to a light, and his eyes are sparkling ruby color, while his talons, teeth, and neck spikes are snow white. He has 2 cheek spikes, fewer than either Saphira or Glader, as well as wide crescent-shaped horns. His red eyes are split by black vertical pupils. Thorn was missing 3 feet of his tail, as it was bitten off by Glader during Oromis's and Glader's final battle, but it was confirmed that to have been reattached with magic. Considering his use of it in inheritance, While Saphira was built for flying, Thorn's bulky shape seems to favor physical combat over speed. Thorn's size is due to Galbatorix's magic. The adverse effects of this magic is unknown. In Inheritance, Aragon describes Thorn's voice as being quite musical. Both Thorn and Murta were unwilling servants of Galbatorix and as such were forced to act against their better judgment as directed by the king. As a result, little of Thorn's true personality was revealed until he was released from Galbatorix's enslavement. His mental voice was described as surprisingly musical by Aragon. Already said that, I'm sorry. Like many dragons, he shares the feelings of his rider, suggesting he may have resented Saphira, similar to how Murta resented Aragon. While Murta was controlled by Galbatorix when he killed Oramis, it appears Thorn was in control when he killed Glader. Unless Galbatorix had the Shuriken take control of Thorn, or Thorn was forced to act, either by the compulsions of the oaths he had forced to swear, or by the threat of harm to his rider if he did not follow Galbatorix's wishes. In Inheritance, Murta reveals that Thorn was more determined than him and wanted to keep resisting Galbatorix during his early life in Urubin, but Murta couldn't stand watching him suffer. In battle, Thorn could be ruthless, shown when he attacked later, seconds after his rider's death, and the tactics used during the abduction of Nasuada, setting tents on fire and striking Arya with his tails. He only ever seemed angry at Saphira once when she tried to bury him and Murta alive. Thorn was also brave as he battled much larger and wiser dragons such as Glader and Shuriken without hesitation, though he lost many battles to Saphira because, like his rider, he was forbidden from using lethal force. After Murta's fight with Aragon to discover the better warrior, Murta announced that he understood and that he was not who he once was, meaning his and Thorn's true name changed, allowing them to attack Galbatorix and Shuriken, thus freeing Aragon to use a spell to show Galbatorix his wrongs, which Eldenare then contributed to torching Galbatorix and made him destroy his body with a spell. Thorn's thoughts were suggested to be darker and more contorted than Saphira's, but possessed the strength and nobility. When Thorn apologized to Glader for his part in Aramis' death, Thorn spoke in a respectful manner, suggesting Thorn was either simply knowledgeable or of proper decorum, or truly was an honorable and humble dragon. This is a Griffith. You can see it looks like an angry cat, the way its eyes. It's kind of hard to see because of the blurry. I'm sorry about that, but you can see that it has his mouth open, so it might be meowing. There also, this fight is taking place in the elsewhere, like Khajiit land, you know. But yeah, we didn't fight a dragon. We didn't fight a griffin here in the last game. This is a retarded troll. We can see the pawn using a skill where he boosts the other pawn with his shield. You see that? He just kind of whoop. And this guy is retarded. Or maybe he is dehydrated. Look at his skin. You can see he really lacks like food and water. So it's... This is mammoth. He stomps on the nickel of the bridge. And you can see there's a carriage on the bridge, which is probably being... Oh, there we go. You can see the head of the ox on the left of the screen. And I really like this scene because it really shows you how good the falling animations are. When the mammoth attacks the bridge, it falls, like the bridge collapses, and you can see how neither the ox nor the arisen react to the falling. I liked it because it's really realistic. Because when people in real life fall, and like animals in real life fall, they start flailing and they start like being really scared, like shock. They go into shock for the time they're falling, and I like that. In this game, it's like the opposite. They just like stop moving. It's like they like don't really care. I really like it because it shows how far the engine has gone, and that the ox is like doesn't really. He just falls straight like a rock. I really like how no one cares that they're falling. I find it really funny. This was they're kind of celebrating that they brought down the mammoth because it's an like extinction. It's fun. This is probably you going. This here is probably you using the pawn stone for the first time in the game. There's a bridge in the background, which might mean this is also the encampment where you fight the Hydra in the first game, you know? Because there's also the bridge there, just like in the first game. This is a siren. This is a harpy. I really hate this scene because it's really scary, and when the way she looks, it really scares me. I really don't like it. This is a Griffith. I like how angry he is. The way he's looking, it's like, it's really funny in the way, I think he's making a funny face. And he's deflecting arrows with his wings, which might mean he's like invulnerable to damage. In this scene, he uses like a vacuum. He just vacuums the heart into his mouth, like a vacuum cleaner. This is I guess, long live the king kind of thing. He has he has 3 pawns, which might mean he's arisen. But I doubt that's you. Well, it could be like one of the game endings where you become evil, but I doubt that's. I feel like that's his name is like Artyom, you know, and he's like really like evil for the sake of evil, like a very generic evil villain. This is his daughter. I think he didn't like the taste of the heart. It was a little spicy, and now he's got a tummy ache. Right, I think that's it, right? Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so honestly, it was mind-blowing. I'm really excited for this game. I I played the first game for like a total of like 15 minutes, and I'm hoping to play the second game just as much. I hope you do too. It's just I had so many good memories of this game. Well, at least a couple, you know. And yeah, I'm really excited for this game, honestly. Like, all jokes aside. Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. It will probably not run on my computer, but I'll figure something out. Yeah, so thanks for watching this another video, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Please leave a dislike and unsubscribe. See ya!
You know I'm trapped, I done wandered in your flat, left a pipe bomb in your cap. Indulge in my prime, ho, I ain't gonna last, ho.